This is DJB. Welcome to Photo Critic TV, episode number 14. Good afternoon, everybody. Guys, if you don't know, just visit www.photocritictv.com, click on click to submit. I'll have a look at your photographs and critique them on this show. It's totally free. Jump online, have a look. My portfolio, www.djbworldphotography.com. Check that out. Episode 14. Let's get into it. The first one is from Kia Kincella. I hope I've pronounced your name correctly. Thanks, Kia. Kia's from Norah Head, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. And Kia is shooting with a Canon 1D Mark II. So for those of you that don't know, that is, I believe, top of the line Canon full frame camera that you can get, but I think there's now a Mark IV or maybe a Mark III. There's at least a Mark III. Either way, it's a pro camera, and Kia's shooting with a 55 to 200mm lens. I love the use of light, shadows, and emotions to the subject. Okay, Kia, first of all three of these photographs, beautiful. Like, really nice. In fact, okay, I'm gonna really have to try and pick these things, pick out the little things because that's all I can do with these photographs. But, so your first one, beautiful. I love how you've used the contrast between the shadows and the light here. So you've actually, it looks like the time of day is around kind of midday-ish, maybe between 12 and 2. So you've got a bit of overhead white light coming in. But in this case, it works well with the shadows. So nothing wrong with that. Normally I say to people, try and take some photographs at the golden hour, i.e. in the morning when the sun's coming up, or dusk when the sun's coming down. But yes, definitely here I think that works. I like the shapes and the squares here, and I like the placement of the subject. The thing I would say is down below the girl who's sitting in the windowsill here, those plants that are kind of popping up into view, a little bit of a distraction. Maybe I would have just walked over and just pulled them out, if you could have, before taking this photograph. And also the little rocks down there, maybe would have moved them. It would have just given you a bit more of a cleaner environment for this girl to be sitting in. But apart from that, I can't really think of much else. Great photograph. I do like that a lot. I'd be interested to see what that looks like in black and white actually as well, because there's really only, it's a very simple photograph. So I think black and white will help, kind of adds to the simplicity in a lot of cases. So, I don't know, let's have a look. Thank you, Kia. Let's go to the next one. Second one. Again, really cool shot. I love the angle you've chosen to use here. It definitely works. What can I say? To really nitpick at this, there's like a piece of rubbish in the bottom right hand corner that's red, and I can see it. That's a little bit distracting. That's pretty much the only thing. I don't know. The skyline's really beautiful. It's not overexposed. I'd be interested to know if you'd used any artificial lighting here. It looks as though there's a bit of flashlight coming from the right hand side. Maybe you've used some kind of softbox to diffuse that a little bit. It doesn't look extremely artificial, but there's something about that makes me think maybe there's some kind of external lighting going on here. Not too sure. But actually, you know what? Jump on Facebook and write a little comment below this if you can, because yeah, I'd be interested to know how you did that. And the angle, so you've got the horizon going from left to right diagonally here. That actually works really well, I think. Normally these diagonal lines add energy to the photograph, and I think in this case that does as well. So thanks again, Kia. Next photograph. Photograph 3. It's OTB with Aaron. Aaron. This is what we do with Aaron. Every show, I want to tap into his brain and see what's up. For some reason we've just chosen the third photograph. I don't know why. It's OTB with Aaron. How are you today?
Good, thanks. It's good to be here.
Yep. Okay, great. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Beyond the frame, off the bat, OTB with Aaron. Okay, I'm going to take
Give it to me.
Ready? Here you go. 7 seconds.
Alright. and it's got blade.
Oh, whoa, no, oh no. Oh, where is it? Okay, sorry, stupid touchpad.
Alright.
Here we go.
Yeah.
7 seconds.
I want to see more.
I want to see more. What exactly do you mean by that? She's not really wearing much there, Aaron.
The foot's missing.
Okay. I like where your head's at. Thank you. Thank you for that. So, I don't know if you probably did hear that, but just in case, Aaron's just saying he can't see her foot. He wants to see what the foot's like. Good point though, actually. Kia, I don't know whether it would look better or worse, but definitely it's kind of obvious that her left foot is cut off here. Maybe, I don't know whether you've done it intentionally or not, but why not put her foot in? Not too sure. It'd be interesting to see what that looks like, but yeah, I can see what you're thinking there, Aaron. Thank you, and valid point actually for once. So, how do you feel about that?
Indifferent.
Alright, so Kia, really nice photograph again. Love the shadows and the light here. I think you definitely, like you said here, you love light and shadows, and it's obvious in these photographs. The black and white works well. I don't know about this shadow you've got on the left here. Yes, it's a cool shadow, it's an interesting pattern, but it does ruin the symmetry that could have been there if that shadow weren't there. So, if you'd wanted to keep this shadow in, I maybe would have moved the subject to the right a little bit, just so that we can balance it out a little bit more. At the moment it looks a bit heavy visually, so the visual weight on the left hand side does look a bit heavy. I would have maybe moved her to the right to balance it out. That's the only thing. Expression is really cool, very model-esque. Your model here clearly knows how to pose, or you know how to pose her, which is great. I can't really think of much else, Kia, so thank you very much. Really, really nice photographs. Let's go to the next one, next entry. Oops, there we go. Let's go, and it's from Trudy. Trudy's from Brisbane and shooting with a Canon 5D Mark II and the 85mm f1.8 and the 50mm f1.8. Again, this is another one of Canon's professional cameras. It's a full frame camera. This time the 5D Mark II is actually, I think, the second one down from the 1D, but excellent camera. So portrait shots are done for my family, and she loves child photography. Taken in Brisbane and with the 85mm. Okay, let's have a look. True, hang on a sec. Okay, so True. Again with these three photographs, really beautiful. Love the expression in all of them. The warmness, they all seem to have a very summery glow to them, which would make me think that they're kind of editorial-like, which is great. What I'd say is, let's just go to the first one. Great expression, natural photograph. What I would have done is perhaps I would have moved your camera to the right more and placed the girl's face more to the left. Excuse me, just so that we can fill the frame a little bit. So at the moment, her head is kind of just off center. So I would have either placed it directly in the center or more to the left. That's what I would have done. So think about the rule of thirds. I always go on about this, but believe it or not, it does make a big difference to how pleasing the photograph is to the eye. So divide the viewfinder up into tic-tac-toe like grid, place the points of interest on those third lines. In this case, the point of interest is the girl's head. Perhaps, yeah, I would have done that. Next photograph, you've done that actually. The girl now is on the right third line. Great, her eyes are roughly on the top third line. Excellent. I can tell you've used a low depth of field to kind of cream out the background here, defocus the background, which is excellent, which is what we want to do with portraits. So you said you shot this with that 85mm f1.8, so that's probably at f1.8. Great. Trude, third photograph. I love the expression here again, really natural, really cute photograph. I think again I would have said the same thing I said for your first one, but this time on the opposite side. So I would have moved my camera to the left so that the girl's head is more to the right. So everything else is great about this, and with all three of these photographs, I've just noticed now, the lighting is excellent. It's very natural ambient light, and it's a believable photograph. There's nothing artificial about this, and I think when you add that up with the expression and the composition as well, it all works very well. So thanks, Trude. And actually, one thing I just noticed is you may be using some kind of actions in Photoshop or a preset in Lightroom or Aperture or something to get this kind of vintage, yellowy kind of look going on there. The first and third photograph have that look, but the middle one doesn't. So the middle one looks definitely a little bit bluey in terms of white balance. So this comes down to, I think, just finding a consistent style. So if you've used these actions on the first and third, why not apply it to all of them and just kind of own that style a little bit? And I must say, this style of this kind of faded vintage look is definitely the in look at the moment, and a lot of photographers are using these actions and presets to get that look. But if that's what your clients are after, go for it. Don't see why not. But I'd be interested to know what you actually used. If you jump on Facebook and just below the episode here, just put a little note down to let us know how you actually got that look. I'm sure that a lot of people would benefit from that. So yeah, thanks, Trude. Really nice photographs. You're doing well there, and I think you definitely, the expression is the best thing about that. You've done well as a photographer to capture that expression, and it's often hard to do that, especially because people are shy around cameras these days. So you've done well. Let's go to the last submission. It's from Andrew Potts. Andrew is shooting with the Canon EOS 400D. It's been a Canon episode today. Everyone's got Canons. Canon EOS 400D with the 55 to 250mm lens. I've been experimenting with the manual settings. This is my first time bracketed water shot that's been a success. It's a water crossing outside, yay, heading towards the something tunnel. Okay, cool. So, Andrew, nice photograph. Yep, you've successfully captured the blurriness of the water here. So, when you say you've been experimenting with manual and this is your first time bracketed water shot, what do you mean by bracketing? Are you talking about exposure bracketing? And have you combined 3 images together, HDR style? Is that what you've done? I'm not quite sure, because to me this just looks like a normal photograph where you've slowed down the shutter speed. So what I'd say about this is, very nice how you've captured the motion blur with the water, yep, but there's a lot of distracting things going on around water, around the waterfall. First thing I noticed is the back right hand corner, there's some rusty kind of metal shed walls or whatever on the top right hand side. That's a distraction. We want to try and frame that out. All these branches and the path on the left and just above the waterfall, it's a little bit of a distraction. So think about the angle that you're shooting from, the perspective that you're shooting from, and always try and simplify the photograph as much as you can. So simplify and eliminate distractions. That's the biggest aim. I think that's the biggest thing here. So think about that next time you're shooting. And also maybe this photograph does look a little bit bluey. So have a look at the white balance, shift that to the right, make it warm it up a little bit. Okay, so but definitely simplify that one. But thank you, Andrew, and thanks everybody. That's it for episode 14. I'll catch you next time.